Hello, everybody. No idea how many viewers I'm going to get. Uh, Usually, I'm lucky if I get more than six, which is such a shame because I can expose Islam just as good as anyone else can. Um, and unfortunately, because I'm not getting the support or anything else from um, this channel just doesn't take off, which is a shame because I desperately need it, especially in times like today, where yet again, I was on TikTok where I do get support, trying to do, God bless you, Alison, trying to do a ticky-tocky on An-Nisa, Surah 4 of the Quran, and the many, many faults and contradictions within just that one surah alone. But particularly where Allah says he is the best deceiver, he's the best misguider, and he's the best misleader. And for some reason, even though there was no one hardly in the room, I mean, sometimes I can get 200 plus on TikTok, sometimes, definitely most of the time, over 100. Today, there was less than 30. I think there was about 34 at one point. And for some reason, TikTok still banned it. As far as I'm aware, there were no Muslims there. There were certainly Muslims were requesting, but then they would stop requesting and they went away again. Um, so, I mean, when I got the stats for the live, because it was very small as well, it was less than an hour. It said that something like 60 odd people had viewed it or something. Yet for some reason, TikTok still banned the live. Now, even though I'm pretty sure, I was very careful in what I say, especially on TikTok, because I understand how pedantic they are with their bans. And so I try to make sure I never ever say anything that is hate speech or hate behaviour. But I find it very hard when you're just discussing what Surah 4 says from start to finish, that they could find anything that I was saying within that hate speech or hate behaviour. When you have guests who come on and it starts to get a bit boisterous, I can understand sometimes, things might be said or things might be done where they will view that as hate speech and hate behaviour and ban it. But this, I had no guests there. No guests had requested to come up. I think I had one guest come up, Rob, who was a fellow Christian. Um, and as I say, I can't see anything that was said or done, certainly by myself, where TikTok could view it as hate speech or hate behaviour. Yet they still ban the live for hate speech and hate behaviour. And when I appealed it, quite rightly, I felt, saying it was I didn't do anything. They within not even minutes, about 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, they sent the notification back for the appeal saying not approved. And as I say, I'm at a loss as to what I actually said or did that they could construe as hate speech or hate behaviour, when all I was doing was discussing what Surah 4 of the Quran said. So if I'm only discussing verses that are in Surah 4 of the Quran, and TikTok felt what I'd said was hate speech or hate behaviour, what does that make Surah 4 of the Quran? And that isn't even one of the most violent verses, don't forget. Surah 5 and Surah 9 are much more violent and horrible and disgusting than Surah 4. So we clearly have a book here, according to TikTok, that is full of hate speech and hate behaviour, because that's all I was literally doing, going through Surah 4 from the beginning and what it said. I went to mention how it's mainly about women, and yet it's only the first sort of 20 verses or so that is about women. All the other verses after that are about other things: jihad, Momo, obeying Allah and Muhammad, jiggy, and things of that nature. I went on to say how verses 11 and 12 deal with inheritance. And they make no sense whatsoever, because a man who is unalived would have to leave 120% in order for the sums to add up when there's 3 women and 1 man. I went on to mention how 9 times throughout this chapter it mentions how you must obey Muhammad and you must obey Allah. You've got to obey both of them. Mentioned about not getting legless at prayers, 444. Mentioned about erasing one's face. I mean, maybe it was when I said Allah will erase your face if you don't believe in him. Surah 4, ayah 47. Maybe Ticky Tocky thought that was me saying hate speech and hate behaviour, when all I was doing was quoting what Allah said. I don't know. I mean, as I say, I then went on to talk about 434, how they can put you in the hospital if you refuse them jiggy jiggy. Maybe that was what Ticky Tocky thought I was saying, hate speech and hate behaviour. Again, all I'm doing is quoting what the Quran says. So, you know, it's not me, it's what the Quran says. Or maybe it was me discussing what 92 and 93 verse it says, 492, 493, or 495 and 496, which 492, 93 says that you can unalive somebody if you do it unintentionally, or if they're an apostate or blaspheme. Maybe that was I don't know. Or maybe 95 and 96. Surah 495, Surah 496, which says Allah prefers and rewards the ones who do jihad in his name more than the ones who don't. Maybe that was the hate speech and hate behaviour that Ticky Tocky thought I'd said. Because, as I say, other than that, all I was talking about was the topic, which was who is the best deceiver? Who is the best misguider? Who is the best misleader? Because Surah 4 gives 3 people, us, Satan, and Allah. And there's no way Ticky Tocky could have, construed that as hate speech and hate behaviour. So literally, as I say, it's either Surah 4, ayah 47, Surah 4, ayah 34, or Surah 4, ayah 92, 93, and 95 and 96. But either way, how are you supposed to discuss a book that talks about these things without talking about them? Because Ticky Tocky will ban you for hate speech and hate behaviour. And as I say, it's a shame because obviously I've had this channel now for over 6 years. I've had this YouTube channel for well over 6 years. And in that 6 years, I've only ever got 150 subscribers. And every time I put a video up, or which I've got well over 100 videos, apparently, I didn't know I had that many, but apparently I've got over 100 videos, and they get 30 or 40 viewers, I think, and maybe 1 or 2 likes at the most. And it's seriously, I struggle to work out what I'm doing wrong when it comes to this channel, that I'm doing right on Ticky Tocky, because I get viewers on Ticky Tocky. But with Ticky Tocky, it's, you don't have to do very much to get banned. Whereas YouTube, you have to do a lot more serious infringements to actually get banned. So, for instance, one of those would be the copyright infringement. I know a lot of people who use YouTube get banned because of copyright, because they show other people's videos. I would never do that. I would have no need to do that, because all the information I need and all the information I have, to expose this cult is all in here and on notes. So I don't need to show videos to prove my point. I can just discuss it, in a rational way, in a rational manner. But of course, the other side with it is that not only do my brothers and sisters will not really support me that well on YouTube to get me, the viewers I need. That also stops Muslims coming forward to speak to me, which again is what I would like to do. I'd like Muslims to come here, click the link, I'll invite them up, and then I can discuss with them my particular topic for that day, just like I do on Tocky. And again, as I say, because the viewers are not here in numbers, that stops the Muslims from coming here in numbers. And yet, as I say, I see many other channels, and they have large viewers, large following, and it's difficult to understand really why and what is going on, because I mean the majority of them appear to be American. Why is it that the majority of people who want to speak out about Islam and want to expose Islam are all American? And they don't really have a problem with it at the moment. It's going to be another 40 or 50 years yet before they even start to have a problem with it. The countries where we have a problem with it, the UK, Europe, Germany, so on, very few people, like myself, are trying to get this out and trying to expose this and trying to talk about this. The majority of the people in the UK who have YouTube channels that are popular are people who, talk about the government. They talk about, other topics. They don't really discuss Islam and what the Quran says and what they, the sort of things they try to do to impose their cult on other countries like the UK. And the people who can expose that, i.e. me, seriously, it's baffling. It really is baffling that all those people, they'll sit and watch and support the USA crowd, and they'll sit and support the American people doing it, thousands and thousands. I'm not going to bother naming names, you know what I mean, because I'm not like that. But yeah, in their thousands, they watch these American people discussing it and talking about it, and debating on it. And then when there's a UK man who wishes to do the same thing and expose it in the UK, which it badly needs doing at this moment, and bringing the truth and the openness and the honesty, no one wants to know. They all want to listen to the American talking about it in America, safe and sound, with no threat or no worry for the next 30 or 40 years. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a good thing anyway, because I mean, I wouldn't also do what they do and say, well, super chat and all that sort of stuff and charge thousands and thousands of pounds to do it and ask for, donations and support us money wise. I don't want your money. Keep your money. I don't need it. I've got my own sort of supplies and my own things, and so I have no need of anything of that sort. And I know that YouTube and these other social sites, when you do get popular, they always put you under pressure to monetize your channel and to try and get as much money back from your channel. And I wouldn't do that. And so I think that would lead to a lot of problems for me as well because of that. But I mean, not even, not even getting to that stage is highly baffling. It really is. It's highly baffling because, as I say, the knowledge that I have is just as great, and in some cases, if not greater. For instance, a lot of these Americans I hear talking, they have no idea who wrote the first gospel. They don't know Matthew wrote the first gospel in Hebrew specifically for the Jewish people. No idea whatsoever. They have no idea that Paul wrote the book of Hebrews in Hebrew, specifically for the Jewish people. No idea. When they're asked about it, they say, I don't know. I don't know who wrote the book of Hebrews. Well, I do. Paul wrote it. And then he gave it to Luke to be translated immediately after he wrote it. And it's so frustrating. It really is that, as I say, not only the fact that I have certain knowledge that I know that they don't have, that I can give to people, but also, as I say, I mean, like for instance, when they get questioned on where Jesus said, "I ascend to my Father, to your Father, to my God, to your God." Well, just there in those three little statements that Jesus made, prove that he's God. The first one is where he said, "I will ascend. I will ascend." What creature can ascend to the Father? None. None of us can ascend on our own. It's impossible. And also, why did he make the distinction between his Father and his God and our God, when we know they're exactly the same? His Father is exactly the same as our Father. His God is exactly the same as our God. So why didn't he say, "I will ascend to our Father and our God"? Why did he say his and ours? Making a clear distinction between the two. Again, the answer is obvious. But again, never ever heard anyone else, mention this fact. So many others, so many other things. But as I say, the main part with it is that in the UK, we need people like myself who can expose this. The majority of the people, as I say, who are doing this online don't live in the UK. They live in USA, other countries, other places. I mean, I can count, on less than one hand the amount of people who do it in the UK. And what, as I say, is surprising is that all of them, as far as I know, struggle to get people to watch what they've got to say. Very few of them. They struggle so badly to get viewers. When it comes to the corruption of the Bible, that's something again. All the knowledge I have on that, I can prove conclusively. The Quran says completely different. The Bible has not been corrupted. The Bible cannot be corrupted. And Allah has protected the Bible from corruption. um, well, I mean, I really don't. I struggle. I really do. As I say, I struggle to understand it all because I see other people. They do show and they get 200, 300 viewers, and as I say, if it's an American, 2,000, 3,000 viewers. Me, I'd be happy if I could just get 100. Hello to Charlie. For all your lies on TikTok, you may have seen me in the chat as Matt. Do you have another account you can go live with? Yeah, I do have another account, Charlie, but I can't go live with it because it's currently banned. It's banned until next Sunday, the other account. They banned it last Sunday at about 1:30 in the morning, the other account. And that's when I started using the account I was using tonight. And they banned that one tonight, even though there were no viewers in the room. I don't believe there were many Muslims in the room. And so whether it was banned by actual Muslims or whether it was actually banned by the automatic robot of ticky tocky, I don't know. All I do know is I didn't say or do anything that warranted that ban for hate speech and hate behaviour. I'm pretty certain I didn't. But according to Ticky Tocky, I did. And as I say, again, even if I did, there was no viewers in the room. Yeah, it is. It is. The auto banning is ridiculous, but also, as I say, so is the banning procedure as well in total for TikTok. It's one of the biggest problems with TikTok. I mean, I've been on TikTok for roughly the same time I've been on YouTube, sort of 6, 7 years. And in that 6, 7 years on TikTok, I have had, to my knowledge, at least about 10 different accounts. You know, because each time they ban it, I keep getting around it and keep getting new ones and new ones. Um, I mean, as I say, to begin with, I was just using my own devices, my own telephone number and stuff like that to keep setting up new accounts. And I think after about the fourth or fifth account that they banned of mine, they banned my telephone number. They literally banned my telephone number, so I could not register any new accounts again on that number. I was going to go out and get a new SIM, a new number, and start doing it on that one. But again, what would have happened is they would have eventually banned that number again. But then I got a friend of mine who set the accounts up for me, and sent me password and stuff, and so I started using them. But even that, as I say, I two of them, two separate accounts, and I think again I've only been using those two accounts for about 4 or 5 months, and each of those two accounts have been banned um, at least 6 or 7 times now. Both the accounts, 6 or 7 times. And very rarely does it last longer than 2 or 3 days before they ban it again. And it's constant. It's constant with Tiki Toki. And they do it, as I say, constant. And it's not just me either. That's what I say. I've noticed with Tiki Toki, it's not just me. I notice other Christians who also suffer with the same problem on Tiki Toki. And even, as I say, Christians who are much more gracious, humble, polite, and kind than I am, even they suffer with getting banned constantly on TikTok. And so it's just a problem, I think, with TikTok towards Christians and Christianity, in particular. But I do believe that TikTok do it as well to the majority of the people who use their platform for some reason. I mean, how can you trust an app that has words that are banned? They have certain words that are banned, and they don't tell anybody what those words are. I mean, straight away, that is completely suspect. If you turn around and tell people, there are things that you can say or do that we will find wrong, but we're not going to tell you what those things are. Straight away you've got as I say, a site that is obviously, for some reason or another, deliberately banning people. And as I say, why, I don't know. Why I really don't know why. I think, as I say, it is a case of they want people to have multiple accounts. Because think about it, if you only have one account, that one account will generate money. They take 70% of that, money that's generated from that one account. If you've got 10 multiple accounts all generating money, TikTok is generating 10 times more than what you are, 70 times more as well on each one. So, likewise, they're going to be earning thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands from your multiple account, just as you will be. So it's all down to money, as I say, I believe, with TikTok. But as I was saying earlier, it's just a shame that I can't get this account up and running like TikTok, because I could be doing what I do on TikTok on this. And, I know that the banning procedures wouldn't begin on this as much as they are on TikTok, and they'd only do it because of the monetization thing, the monetization side of it. But there you go. as I say, unfortunately, I can't get the support on this like I can on Tiki Toki for some reason. For some reason, I've always had the support on Tiki Toki. My accounts have always been very well received on Tiki Toki, and I've always had audience figures on Tiki Toki. Whereas on this, nothing. No audience figures, no viewing figures, no subscribers, nothing, hardly. And I can't understand it because, as I say, I could quite easily do what I do on Tiki Toki on here, more than easy. You know, uh, guests can be invited up here the same as you can on Tiki Toki. Well, not only is it harder, yeah, it's virtually impossible, Charlie, to be honest with you. Like I say, I mean, I've had this account now the same as I have on Tiki Toki for the past 5 or 6 years. And whereas on Tiki Toki, some of my accounts, I had 30,000 followers on some of my Tiki Toki accounts, 30,000 followers, and some of my videos were getting 3, 4, 10, 20, 30K views. Here, I've got 150 subscribers, and as I say, I struggle if I get 6 viewers for a viewing. The videos I do, I struggle if more than 50 people view my videos. Even though I've got well over 100 now, apparently, on this channel, which I didn't know about. I mean, for the first 3 years, I think it was, at least 3 or 4 years, I couldn't even get up to 50 subscribers, and you had to get 50 to go live. And I couldn't even get the 50 viewers to go live for about 3 or 4 years. For about 3 or 4 years, it took me to get to 50 viewers to go live. And I thought, oh, great. Now I can go live. I can, do it and promote it. And then I'll get more and more. And it will really kick off now. And that was 2 years ago. And in 2 years, I've gained another 100 subscribers. So, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, what can one do? Not a lot, really. There you go. This is life. This is life. I mean, they're happy to sit down and listen to the Americans talk about Islam, who haven't got any problems with it and haven't really got any worries with it, Americans debating Muslims. But when it comes to someone who's in the UK, and who wishes to do exactly the same thing and expose it exactly the same way and probably even just as better, yeah, what can one say? I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest with you. There you go. There you go. I suppose what I'm going to have to do is try to learn to chatty in a Yankee accent, I think. If I can learn to chatty like a Yankee, then maybe I'm going to start getting the subscribers and the viewers. If I talk in a Yankee, accent, who knows? Yeah, most stranger. But there you go. Anyway, never got any questions answered again. Why is Allah the best deceiver? Why is Allah the best misguider? And why is Allah the best misleader? According to the Quran, better than Satan, better than people. And those are all the three things that are named in the Quran, all in Surah 4. But also throughout the Quran, but definitely in Surah 4, people lead people astray, 461, 167. Satan leads people astray, 460, 117, 118. And Allah leads people astray, 488 and 4143. But Allah also deceives people, 4142. And when Allah leads you astray, you cannot be led back again. So not only is Allah someone who leads people astray in the Quran, he's the best at leading people astray. And he's also the best at deceiving, 4142 and 354. But like I say, what can one do? When you go onto Tiki Toki, you try to discuss it. They get the channel shut down before you even, get a Muslim come up to discuss it for hate speech and hate behaviour, even though you didn't say anything hateful or any hate behaviour. Literally, all I did was quote verses from the Quran from Surah 4. And, I quoted Surah 4, Ayah 47, where Allah says He's going to erase your face. Is that me speaking hate speech and hate behaviour when I'm quoting what Allah says? I don't know. According to TikTok, maybe it is. Who knows? But there you go. This is life. Okay, so I've been on now for 30 minutes and 2 or 3 viewers. Thank you for coming, people. God bless you all. Peace of Christ to you all. I think I will end that now, and give it up as a bad thing again, yet again on YouTube. So yeah, I mean, God bless you all. Peace of Christ to you. I'll see you on my Tiki Toki when the band's finish. As I say, the first one will be the V Vault channel. That will finish Sunday night at about 1:30 in the morning, and I will go live then as well. And of course, the second one will finish next week tonight. At around this time, 8:30ish, roughly. All good fun. God bless you all. Peace of Christ to you all.